Hello everyone, my name is Kushal KC. Today I'm here to talk about how to find an internship. Before doing that, a little background about myself. I'm senior here in mechanical engineering. I have completed 3 internships so far and I'm currently doing my 4th one. Throughout that process, I'm pretty sure I have applied like more than 100 companies, as well as I have given more than 50 interviews, and 90% of them were in rejection. So I have some amount of experience on how do I look for a job, or how do I look for an internship, how do I build my resume, and I want to help my fellow friends basically, because I get a lot of questions from my friends and colleagues, as well as on campus other juniors that came to St. Cloud State University. So I'm making this video to help those students. Before going in detail about how exactly to apply the jobs, I want to talk about building your resume. So one of the formats that I use in my resume is including these 4 things. First one is your leadership experience. So this one comes from your on-campus involvement. So it's necessary, or it's important to be active on campus, to join student organizations. That helps you build your leadership quality. So second one is customer service. So customer service is basically if you interact with another person, that's one of the experience. So you do some on-campus job or a similar kind of off-campus job, you may want to include that at least for your first internship. The third one is your communication skills, and that also can go side by side with your team involvement or like a group involvement projects. This is very important because every job you apply, they want to see how well you can work, how well you can work in a team, and that's very important. And the fourth one is your major skills. So whatever major you are going for, you want to include some of these skills that correlates to your major. So like for me, if I'm mechanical engineering major, I want to include my CAD software involvement, so that I want to let them know that I'm good at using CAD softwares, and that's very important for me. Same with if you are a business major, there might be some of the things you need in your major and you want to include that in your resume. And also, to make the resume, use your on-campus resources, like if your campus has like a career center or some sort of help, or your advisors that can help you build a resume. So I say this quite often to a lot of my friends, that go to the job fair on campus, or like a job fair and resume review kind of things, because those kind of things help you to build a resume, like what kind of format it need to be. So this is my resume format. Not necessarily it has to be exactly like this, but this helps quite a lot. And when I first came here, my resume was not like this. I didn't have much experience, and I always went to my advisors to ask help for how to build a resume, as well as the career center in my campus, as well as I also went to a lot of job fairs, and I got feedback on my resume, like what I should include or what I should not include, and those are very important. So I want you guys to go to any sort of job fair or resume reviews, so that you know how to exactly build the resume, as well as what to include depending upon your major. And along with that, like when you are building a resume, you also gonna need your portfolio as well as your cover letter. So portfolio might be optional, for at least if you don't have much things to write on your portfolio, you can ignore that for a while, but you need to learn how to write a cover letter. And cover letter is really important. A lot of my friends, when they apply for a job, they don't want to attach cover letter with it, but then it shows the details of your resume and it explains like what you are interested in. For most of the companies, they read cover letters in order to understand you, in order to know you as a person. Resume is like a bullet points, but cover letter is explaining your interest. So it's very important that you learn how to write a cover letter too. I don't have any samples for cover letter, but it depends on what kind of major you are, what are the experience you have, and what is your interest and what you're trying to gain. So when you apply for some companies, you wanna make them aware that you are very interested in certain job, as well as these are your experience that's very similar to what the job is asking for, and you want to explain that yourself in details. So that's what you do in cover letter. And portfolio is something you can make once you have like a good amount of experience, or if you don't have any experience also, you can make something similar and smaller. So I want to show you guys my portfolio. This is the one paper copy, hard copy, you can make it online, you can make it PDF, you can make a website for it. I made this because it helps me to, when I go to on interviews, I can just bring the hard copy. It's really easy, and then I can talk about it directly. So my portfolio is basically my introduction here, and these are all my experience. Most of them are experience in details. So of course, in your first interview or looking for your first internship, you might not have this many. What I suggest is like make a PowerPoint of the projects you have done on campus and then bring that along with you, because it helps when you want to talk about your experience. If you have something in front of you, it kind of helps. So that's what I do when I bring my portfolio with me. Is sometimes I may forget some of the projects I have done in the past, but my portfolio kind of reminds me, okay, these are the projects that I did. And then sometimes you get nervous, you forget to add some of the topics that you want to tell them about, or some of the projects that you did, and then you might forget those kind of things. And having portfolio with you kind of helps to remind yourself too. It's kind of like a cheat sheet when you are giving interview. I mean, and plus when you have your portfolio, it kind of makes that professional appearance in front of your interviewers, and they see you came well prepared, you came well detailed. That kind of gives a better image of you when you are applying for some internship. And the one last thing that I want to add on while on building your resume, don't lie on your resume. Don't include the experience that you don't have. Don't include any software experience that you don't have. Also include your GPA, and that GPA matters. A lot of times people tell me that if you have low GPA, oh no, GPA does not matter in your work life. I mean, yeah, that's maybe somewhat true, but in your first job, they always want to know how you are performing in your school. So balancing your academic performance as well as your on-campus job or involvement is very important. You might not need like a really high GPA, but you need to be somewhere in your average category. So for mechanical engineering majors, somewhere around 3 is good enough. Maybe for business major, you might need a little higher. But include your GPA in your resume, as well as do not include anything that it's not about you. Lying in the resume, that's a bad deal. And second thing you want to know while you are applying for a job is what are the companies that are in your locality or in that state or in that city. And one of the best resources to know about those companies is job fair. Job fair helps in a lot of ways. You don't have to be looking for a job to go to job fair. You can just go around and do like a window shopping, figure out what are the jobs available in your major, and you can apply in couple years later, but still you're gonna have some ideas. And second thing is LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, these resources. They are a very powerful tool. You can make your account and they will let you know what are the companies, what kind of jobs that are available, and then they will also suggest, okay, this is the job in your locality, you might want to apply or you might not want to apply. So use those resources. Most of you guys have like social media accounts. Adding LinkedIn to that account will not waste your time. This is really important. And I also suggest that if you see any jobs in either Glassdoor or Indeed or LinkedIn, you can apply from there. That's one way. Also, you can also go to that specific company's website and apply directly from website as well. And I did apply most of the time from company's website, and I got lots of response than applying from LinkedIn or Indeed. Also, another way to know about your local companies is you're going to talk to your major advisors. They have good connection, as well as your professors. They know a lot about the local areas since they are teaching here and they have good connection with the companies. That's how I got my first internship actually. So the company I worked was local company, and my advisors kind of suggested me to apply. I applied and I got an interview. I also got a job. So having good connection with your professors or advisors or in your department, anyone in your department, is very important. As well as if you have something like a on-campus job in your department, that's even better, because now they will also give a good recommendation to you if you look for internship or jobs. Now I'm going to talk about one of the important part of this video. So job application, where exactly you apply or something like that. I know I talked a little bit about like applying from LinkedIn or going to company's website, but again, one of the very important resource here is job fair. So when you visit job fair, make sure you talk with the HR personnel there or the representative from the companies, as well as you leave your resume with them. And while you are talking, you also want to ask about their contact information. Most of the times when you apply jobs or when you go to visit job fairs there, they want you to apply from their company's website as well. So once you go go to the job fair and learn about their requirements, come home, apply from company's website again, all the companies you visited. Even though it's kind of boredom or tiring, please do apply again. And then also try to contact the person you talked to in the job fair. Try to send them an email, say, oh, kind of like a follow-up email. Oh, thank you for suggesting me this job. I applied online. Please let me know if there is anything else I can do. This makes kind of like a good contact, as well as now the person that you talked. If you do the same day, is better because they remember you now. If you wait for a couple of days, they might forget you, right? So best is to come home from the job fair and apply all the companies that you visited in your job fair and email everyone, kind of like a follow-up email, and they will remember you. This gives a kind of big impression on them that you did everything that you needed to do, as well as you made a contact with the person, kind of like a follow-up. Say thank you for talking with me, and here's, I already applied the job. Let me know if there is anything else you need. This is kind of building a relationship, and it helps. While talking in the same topic, in terms of international students, if you are F1 or J1, and if there is companies that says we hire US personnel only, or ITAR regulations has to be US person, then do not apply. If you are F1 or J1, or if you are not a US citizen or US permanent resident, right? Because it's kind of waste of your time, it's kind of waste of their time. The companies that says ITAR regulations US personnel means they are involved in something that are either related to US military or US government, and they will not hire international students. So it's your waste of time, it's their waste of time if they have to look your resume and finally reject you, or if they call you for interview and then they realize that you are not US person, then they have to reject you then. So it's kind of waste of time for company as well as for you. So do not apply that one. So while you are applying for a job, you need to ask your advisors or whoever you want them to be your professional reference. Ask them first that you are going to keep them as a reference, and let them know that the company that you are applying job for, because you applied for a job and you didn't ask anybody, you kept their name, and then they get a call, and then when they say okay, you have no idea about anything, or they have no idea about you, that's really bad deal. That company will never hire you afterwards. So your professional reference is important. It's also important that they know that you are using their name in various companies while applying for a job. Alright, so don't make a mistake of like applying some job and then you are putting someone in a reference. The person has no idea about you. That's really bad deal. So you want to ignore that and have a professional reference, someone who knows about you, who can talk good things about you, and or maybe honest things about you, about your performance, about your job. And also they need to agree that they are okay to be your reference. And also, like, the final thing while applying for job is learn their requirements. Okay, so don't apply for the job that says that you need this many of experience and you don't have most of the things. Then do not apply. They will not hire you. I mean, you can try. I don't want to say you can't try at all, but there are certain companies, they look for certain experience, certain softwares they use, and if they are looking for that, if that's in their requirement, and you don't have most of that things, it's kind of waste of your time again. Most of the time, look for the requirements, what they are looking for, and see your resume, and those two kind of match, then apply. That's very easy. And another really important thing is to know the deadlines. When is the deadline for summer, when is the deadline for spring, when is the deadline for fall. So don't be late to apply for a job. The sooner the better. It's looking for a job and you don't want to wait till the last minute. They might hire someone else by the time before even deadline. They might hire someone else. So you wanna kind of apply on time and look for the deadlines. And the next thing that I want to talk about is job interviews. Let's say you guys applied for a job and now you got an interview. So before interview, you want to be really well prepared about the company. Know the company, like you applied for the job. Let's say you applied 50 companies, but then of course you forgot. Let's say you forgot where you apply. Now finally you got the job interviews. And before interview, please do your research about the companies. Do the research about the positions you are applying. During the interview, be well dressed. Print some resumes, like bring a couple of resumes with you, and be on time. As well as you want to bring, if you have portfolio like this, I try to bring my portfolio in a file. It's really easy for me to talk with my portfolio. Yep. Learn about the company, bring some resumes, bring your portfolio, be well dressed. Also, during interview, I know first time giving interview might be a little bit of nervous, like you might not know anything. That's okay, but try to be a little bit confident. Yeah, everyone gets nervous. It's normal thing, but try to be a little bit confident. They don't expect you to be super well known about everything. Let's say you got a job, they don't want you to build a rocket right away. They will give you a simple task first. So your interview will be similar. They will not ask you, okay, how to build the SpaceX Falcon something. That's not the case. They'll ask you things about your major, about your previous experience. So be a little bit confident and know what you wrote in your resume. That's important. As well as do not lie in an interview. If they ask you something that's not relevant to your resume, or that's something you have never done, don't say that you did, and don't make up the stories, because it will come back to haunt you. That's 100% sure. And while interview, try to make an eye contact, try to be involved in the conversation, and ask question. You don't have to know everything. And then sometimes if they ask you something and you don't know at all, it's okay to say that you do not know. You don't have to make up stories, okay? And after interview, let's say you give an interview. After interview, write and follow up email, like thank you letter. Write a thank you email. So ask for their contact info during interview. Like let's say 3 people interviewed you, and most of the time I didn't really ask for the contact info. Most of the time they provided me the contact info. So after you came home, write and thank you email, kind of like follow up. Oh, thank you for your time. Thank you for letting me know about your company. Thank you for your anything else about the company that you got, any details about the company. And that's really important. Thank you email. A lot of times I've seen a lot of my students not writing thank you email. And maybe you will still get a job. It does not mean like you did not write a thank you email, you will not get a job. That's not what I mean. But it's really good impression to write a thank you email to someone. Even though you did not get a job, you can still write a thank you email. Okay, so let's say you guys got the job. After you get the job, this is very critical time for you. So what I want to say is do your best and try to learn from the best. There will be a lot of seniors in your workplace. They know a lot more than you do, and they know a lot more than what your college book is teaching you. So utilize your time properly. Don't just be there to pass your time. Try to use that time very properly and learn a lot more. And who knows, that company might be the one to hire you in the future for your full-time job. So build a good relation in the company you are working for. Do a good network. Try to make sure you are in the front, getting all the jobs done on time. And don't hesitate to ask for more work. Like a lot of times we want to go there and try to do small things and try to spend our time. But all my portfolio has like really cool projects when I talk about, and these are the things that I did in my internship. And these are really cool. Do similar things, like ask for the bigger projects, be more involved, be active in your job. And that helps a lot because they can be your professional reference, they can give you a good recommendation, they might hire you for the full-time position. So your internship time is very, very important. And finally, good luck with the job hunt. I can still help. If you guys need help in any cases, you can email me. I'll probably leave the email in the description somewhere here. I'll try to help in any way I can. I'm quite busy too, since being the senior, and I'm starting my senior design this year. If there is anything else you guys want me to make video about, I can help with that too. Maybe making a portfolio or building a resume or anything else. But I hope this video helps. This is my own personal experience, and I hope you guys utilize it properly. Good luck.